Hey everybody, welcome back. And we are going to get into talking about activism, current activism, and things that we perceive versus things that are actually going on in the world. So, me and Achman for, past week or so have been talking about the whole thing between J. Cole and No Name. For those that don't know, No Name posted, I think it was on Twitter, about how people that are
Sneak this.
rapping sneak this, about how people that rap about the black struggle should be more outspoken on like social media and things about like educating people and just spreading more awareness. In response to that, J. Cole puts out a song called Stone the Bluff, mainly in which he talks about how he is not like, he's not the leader of this movement. He feels like he's not educated enough to be speaking out. Then in response to, oh, also, he doesn't exactly sneak this. I'm like, even though, he doesn't exactly sneak this No
No name.
Name, but he does talk about how, like, what he's how he saw the response and he felt like she was directing at him, which she low key was. And then he talks about how his personal feelings on the matter, which his thesis was, I don't think I'm the one that's supposed to be out here. I'm just trying to read and educate myself before I be talking about it on a big platform. Then No Name comes on and puts, I forget, it was like
Song
an untitled
33.
thing. Yes. And she mainly talks about how what's going on in the world right now and how again J. Cole, instead of focusing his energy on her, to be focused on, educating people or talking about what's happening in the world right now. So mainly because this what has happened between the both of them has been talked about a lot. Me often really wanted to expand on the conversation of performative activism versus purposeful activism, like what people see on social media or like true intentions and what you're doing on the ground
Mhm.
to either dismantle oppression within yourself, within how you think, and getting rid of implicit bias, and what you're doing, how you're actually contributing to what's going on around you. Often, tell us what you're thinking.
So, first of all, before I talk about the activism, I mean, I love Jermaine Cole. I love J Cole.
Cold world, Jermaine.
Um, he's and he can rap, and the song was fire. Uh, and No Name, bruh, No Name gotta be the first artist. I don't like her personality, but yo, that song was fire. That song was dope. She's like the female Kendrick slash Drake. Like that shit went hard. Um, here's my biggest problem in general with these kinds of discussions is that people approach it as if it is a rap battle. And I think No Name approached it as if it was a rap battle too. When the majority of the song, J. Cole is complimenting No Name and giving her advice on what she should do in the future. So, I don't understand this idea that like J. Cole is going after No Name because he's not. Number two, when has J. Cole ever been the person to disclose on social media how he's feeling? This man don't even talk about his albums.
That's fine. I think the one album he did announce was like KOD, but that was
Can
just like a secret tweet.
that was
He was
it,
just like, "Hey,
it
yo,
was
check this
one
out."
tweet. Uh and and so like in general, that's what's kind of like for me. That's the heart of it. Where in terms of the issue between those two is like you're going after someone who's not attacking you. No name. So why are you like his message was, and I would encourage everyone to listen to the song,
Both songs.
both songs. His message was, "You're very smart, and I take your criticism seriously. I feel that something that bothers me is that you should be speaking to people who actually disagree with you, which is a long-standing problem that No Name has. For example, banning white, discussing banning white people at some of her concerts because she doesn't like the way that, they present themselves versus how black people present themselves at, their concerts. She doesn't like the fact that white people say the N-word, and, chanting her lyrics. Uh, so there is this sort of
Which is
consistent,
understandable. Which is understandable.
which is
Which is understandable.
understandable, but I don't. It's understandable. I'll give it that. I don't like it. I don't really agree with it, but it does make sense. Uh, but she does have this long-standing problem of not approaching the people who she disagrees with, and J. Cole is saying, "Go maximize that, right? Because you are a smart person." Uh, and No Name's response was, "There is bigger stuff going on in the world. Don't debate me." What? That's not a comeback.
But this is like a thing that I saw that like when J. Cole put out his thing was put out part of his song was like maybe instead of talking to people that you agree with, try reaching out to people that you don't agree with and educate them because you're a smart person, you have the
Exactly.
capability to do it. A lot of people said, hey, you shouldn't be telling No Name what you should and shouldn't be doing with her time, which
Wait.
is correct. But also, the whole premise of her tweet was telling
Telling
someone
other
else
people what to
what
do.
they should and shouldn't do. And I'm not saying, and as I said, both of them, they said suggestions. No one was ordering each other around. It was just critique, a what? A civil critique, because there wasn't a beef. They were just talking about it
Yeah.
in their music, talking about how they feel that certain people should act, which is fair because we all give our opinions about stuff. So I think that especially like a lot of people took it out of proportion, saying, "Oh, it's a rap beef. Oh, da 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 da." J. Cole's attacking No Name when they're really just having a civil conversation through music and through different platforms.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I feel like, and then this is where we kind of get into the activism piece. The thing about it, and this is why I don't mean to be harsh to No Name, but one of the also things that's important for me is that I disagree with her premise. I don't think that it's problematic that celebrities are not coming out and praising Black people or, speaking out on their opinions of the Black Lives Matter movement. If you have power and money, use it. Put money towards Black businesses. Help George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, or Tatiana Jefferson. Help those cases. Push them forward. Uh, you use your status and your wealth and your privilege, you know, to to help Black people sort of grow as a people. But I don't know, social media activism is not activism in the truest sense because there's such a minimal amount of effort. Like when we think of activism, we think of Bloody Sunday and we think of the civil rights movement, where it's like these motherfuckers ran up a bridge knowing that they could die, right? And some of them did die. Even now in these current protests, people are dying, right? I'm not saying you have to put your life on the line, but put in a little bit of effort. I feel like the problem for me, is that not only does it not do anything to only protest on social media, but it also shows your lack of commitment towards the movement, right? Uh, uh, and social media is not a bad way to protest. It just shouldn't be the only way, and it shouldn't be your top priority. And guess what? Surprise, surprise, J. Cole was actually protesting in person and never announced it. Uh, yeah. What you
Yeah,
think?
especially I don't want to cut you off, but
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
all right. As you were saying, social media, especially in the current age, has been such a powerful tool because especially in the past, we couldn't video things, we couldn't spread our messages around as easily as we can with social media, and especially ever since like what happened with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, people have been like, especially on their stories, been posting a lot of stuff about like different things you can do for activism, things you can donate to, like educating people by like giving definitions of things. And I think all that's great, and it should definitely continue to happen. But you can't judge everything based off what you see on social media, especially maybe someone's not posting because they're too busy helping actual charities or on the front lines helping with COVID relief, or like their house burned down in a riot and they have no way of posting or getting out there in the world, which are things that have actually happened to people that I know or that I know of.
And then there are some racist
So
motherfuckers who post blackout on. That's sorry to interrupt you. There are racist
no,
motherfuckers who
no,
post.
because definitely say that point, because I was just about to say that.
There are racist motherfuckers who post Blackout Tuesday. I remember, people who said awful things to me and would go after me and uh, and talk about how dangerous and uncomfortable they felt around Black people. Blackout Tuesday, I can't believe this is going on. Wow, I've been so educated. Like, I think there's the reverse, right? There's people who want to speak out but don't have the means. There's people who want to speak out but don't know what to say and are too busy doing other stuff. But there are there are racist people who are speaking out and saying, "Hey, Black Lives Matter," because it's cool or how do I say, or hip. Um, you know, a lot of this comes down to the white savior complex. I feel like uh, so like, and this is a thing that happens a lot of times to white liberals. And it's interesting. Like, I kind of go back and forth versus whether or not I prefer white liberals or white conservatives. Um, right? Because white conservatives don't really care about you, in my personal experience, for the most part. Uh, but I feel like white liberals have this idea that they are supposed to save you with their inherent privilege and that it is their job. And so therefore you should be grateful to them for helping you, which I think breeds a different kind of racism where, you're helping the little dog up and you assume that because I'm Black, I am the little dog. And that's, just, just as problematic sometimes, if not more, than someone saying, yeah, I don't really care if you're Black or you're white. This is what you deserve. If you can't get it, suck to suck, right?
All right, wait, peek this, because I saw this on I saw this on social media saying like, how are you gonna go on like a mission trip to Africa and help build schools for people that you don't even know, but not stand up for police brutality and racism that's happening to Black people that live across the street from you? And
That's
the
a
thing you
good
were saying
point.
about white, like the white savior complex in some white liberals is the fact that I feel like I'm gonna compare like white people that are racist specifically against Black people to white liberals that have that like savior complex within them. White people that hate Black people always, I think, is rooted in a inferiority
Fear.
complex and fear too. Because at the Charlottesville rallies, what were they saying? You will not replace us. Jews will not replace us. They're they enslaved people because they knew inside. I'm not saying that this is true, but they thought that Black people were better than them inherently.
Talk your
That's why
talk.
they're doubling down on we're better, we're better, we're better,
Talk
because
your talk.
inside they don't feel that way. With white liberals, with the white savior complex, they don't see Black people as superior. They see Black people as under them. They give Black people pity. And
Ugh, I
it's
agree.
I think it's that, and I think it's, and I'm not saying this is all white liberals, but like there are people that are just like, oh my God, Black people all suffer so much, and it's oh my God, and like they relent about their white privilege and all that stuff. When like real white allies aren't going to kiss the feet of Black people to make them feel better, they're gonna help and actually listen to us when we say what we want. Like we want systemic change, we want your help with like rallies, we want like your help doing
Yeah,
actual things rather than quitting a voice acting job
because you
because
hope,
you play a mixed person. That's not what we're asking for.
because
And I
you
think that's
hope
threaded.
a new person, you hope a Black person will get your job.
Yes. And I think yeah, it's just so performative. And that's like with a whole lot of stuff. Context is with people that don't know. Um in recent weeks there has been a white newscaster that announced on air he was leaving, quitting his position, and he said that they hoped they would replace him with a black person.
Yeah.
Not only is that super performative because they're him and his wife were in a whole media scandal, so you're taking yourself out of the limelight, but also he's still working at that company and literally doing everything else he was doing except broadcasting the news. So
Yeah.
not only is it inherently selfish because you're taking yourself out of the spotlight because you're dealing with all like the fallout of a media scandal, but you're doing it under the blanket of, oh, I'm such an ally. I'm helping black people.
Yeah.
I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and this is
Deception.
all for the black community. I love the dark ones. No, you don't. It's some bullshit.
No, one thing I think about, and this is something that Abba said, and it really got me thinking. I don't
We all been
understand
preached. We all been preached. Shout out to them.
cisgender. Anyway, uh, uh, the thing about it, and this is something that hit me when I was watching one of their videos. I don't understand why white people wouldn't want to support black people, because a lot of the changes are not for black people. They are for America that acutely help black people. Why would you not want to improve police conduct that benefits you inherently? Why would you not want to improve the way, wealth is distributed to school? That benefits you inherently. Like what? Like I don't. That's what makes no sense. When you are in a ruddy, crappy situation, you're going to be better because of the policies that were enacted, to predominantly help black people. So why are you trying to fight what's gonna help you? Like I never understood that.
Especially with the rebuttals. Like when we say Black Lives Matter, people say all lives matter. When we say end police brutality, they say white people get killed by the cops too. One, are you okay with civilians being killed by the cops for no reason,
Yeah, like what does that
regardless of the race?
change? What does
Are
that
you good with
change?
that? Especially Trump. I heard just before we recorded,
Yeah,
I
me
heard
too.
him on an interview where they said where they asked him about there are a lot of like George Floyd, there are a lot of like black people being killed by the police. What do you have to say about this? And he says, so are white people. So are white people are getting killed by the police too.
Here's my thing.
And you're
Here's my
okay with
thing.
that.
Here's my thing. Right? It's a dumb question to a dumb. It's a dumb question to a dumb answer. Because I notice it's always white people who ask this question. What about the people who are dying? Why does it matter that people are dying? Why can't it just matter that we're being mistreated? Like that's one other thing that I feel like I don't understand. Like yes, when you play it out, you know, the death rate is problematic for both races, but around even or in white people's favor. But when we say the
But
issue,
also on a note against that, if you look at it proportionately, when
yeah,
you adjust for the size of the populations, black people are like 3.5 times as more likely to be harassed and killed by the police than white people. It's just that white people, if you just look at the numbers,
the
white
gross,
people
yeah,
are going to be more because they're more of the population. White people are like around 50 or 60% of the population. Black people are like 10
15,
to 12%.
yeah,
And the fact that in some states, black people, the number of like police brutality and instances happening to black people are evening or even getting close to
yes.
white people, even though you're like 6 times the population at the very least. Troubling.
But one thing, and you say you said it, you glossed over it, but you said it, harassment. The studies also show that excessive force, meaning force that was unnecessarily used, is predominantly used against black people and Latinos. That's what the issue is, right? And that's how we get this kind of even problematic number of deaths, because excessive force leads to death, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
problem. And when you look at excessive force, which I think is the root of the problem, right? Because you can't just say, oh yeah, don't kill anybody. No, don't use as much force as you have to. Why does somebody who is counterfeiting a bill need 5 cop cars? Why can somebody who shot up a school of minors walk out in handcuffs and resist arrest
and,
and nothing happens?
and gets Burger King on the way to the police station?
Are you fucking serious?
I don't know if it was that specific instance, but yes, for one school shooter that I think was a
Nah,
person
bro.
that like shot
Nah,
up a
bro.
church.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
Yeah, he's
Nah,
getting ready to fight. This is the first time
nah,
Ahmed has
bro.
left where
Nah,
he is
bro.
sitting.
Nah, bro. I ain't
He's
got my
ready to
headphones
scrap.
in. My headphones is out and stuff. Nah,
He's ready
bro.
to scrap.
Bruh. Nah, cause Burger King fire too, dog. Burger King, bro, come on, dog. Cause Burger King go hard. They got the fries and shit. Come on, dog. They got the chicken sandwich. Come on, dog. I'm tight. Them chicken nuggets is fire. First of all, them chicken nuggets is better than McDonald's chicken nuggets. You telling me that
All
they
right, hold up. We can't be giving all this free advertising unless it's to Manscaped or Blue Chew. All right, so we don't need to calm down.
Blue Chew? No. Hey yo, to my girl.
And Ray Shadow Legends.
How you
And Ray
doing?
Shadow Legends. Feel free to sponsor us. Promote us. Do whatever you gotta do.
Manscaped.
Figure back up. Figure back up.
What's it called? What was I gonna say?
We were talking about we can just edit this part out, but we were talking about discrepancies when it came to
Oh yeah. Right. So yeah,
being treated by the cops and stuff.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so that's the thing is that it's excessive force that is problematic, and excessive force what we're talking about. Like I feel like the whole conversation is dumb. Hey, what about black people who are dying? Well, white people are dying too. Like, dumb question to a dumb answer. Like, dumb answer to a dumb question. I feel like, but it's just shitty leadership. Like, how did, like, what? Like, people are dying. Okay, but other people are dying.
Oh wait, you wanna know what? I think Abba said this, that if there's a fundraiser for breast cancer, and then someone runs up and says, "Hey, what about leukemia?" You'd be pissed.
Thanks.
You'd be pissed.
Hey, what are you gonna do about the excessive numbers of rapes in this country? I mean, we got AIDS and shit, so that's that's a different problem. You know what I'm saying? That's just, like no. I'm gonna put trigger warning. I got you. No.
One to people.
That's not that's not a valuable answer. And it's just it absolves white people and it absolves cops of all responsibility and stuff like that. And it's just so annoying. Yeah. And I feel like those are the questions that need to be asked, answered, looked at, figure out why that's happening. Yeah. So you think it's a good time to take a break?
Yeah, I feel like we summed it up, we packed a lot of stuff in. I think we good. All right, so stay tuned. We'll be back after a very short break.